The alien slave girl's desperate plea. Human, can you save me? Captain Lisa Morgan stood at the observation deck of the Starship Horizon watching the purple nebula stretch across the view screen like painted silk across the void. Her crew had been mapping the outer rim territories for 6 months now, and the isolation was starting to wear on everyone. The mission was simple: chart, unexplored systems, catalog resources, avoid conflict. But nothing in deep space ever stayed simple for long. The distress signal came through during the night cycle, faint and scrambled, almost lost in the cosmic static. Lisa was in her quarters reviewing supply reports when Lieutenant Amy Brooks patched it through to her personal console. The voice that emerged from the speakers made her blood run cold. It was not human. The language was unfamiliar at first, a series of melodic tones that rose and fell like water over stones, but the ship's translation matrix caught up within seconds, transforming the alien sounds into broken English. The voice belonged to a female or something close to it, and she was begging, "Please, someone, anyone, I am trapped. They will kill me if you can hear this. Please, I beg you. Humans are different. They say humans have mercy, please. Prove them right." Lisa sat frozen, her finger hovering over the response button. Every protocol screamed at her to ignore it. First contact situations required fleet approval. Distress signals could be traps. The outer rim was full of pirate slavers, and worse. But something in that voice, something raw and terrified, made her hesitate. She had not joined the exploration corps to turn her back on suffering. She keyed the comm bridge. "This is Morgan. I need full analysis on that distress signal location, origin, everything." Amy's voice came back crisp and efficient. "Signal is coming from the Zeta Kepler system about 4 hours away at maximum burn. Origin appears to be a Krellan trading vessel. Captain, the Krellans are known slavers. If we get involved..." "Know the protocols," Lieutenant Lisa cut her off. "Plot a course we investigate, only no engagement unless absolutely necessary." The Horizon changed course, slicing through space toward the coordinates. Lisa spent the journey learning everything she could about the Krellans. They were a reptilian species, cold-blooded in every sense. They saw other beings as commodities to be bought, sold, and used. Their empire stretched across 12 systems built on the backs of countless enslaved races. The Galactic Council had issued sanctions, but enforcement was impossible in the lawless outer territories. When they arrived at the Krellan ship, it hung in space like a rusted blade. The vessel was old patchwork repairs, visible across its scarred hull. Lisa ordered a tactical scan. The ship had weapons, but they were powered down. Life signs showed 20 Krellans and over 40 other species, all crammed into the cargo holds, all except one. There was a single non-Krellan life sign in what appeared to be a small detention cell separate from the others. The biometrics did not match any species in their database. "That is her," Amy said quietly. "The one who sent the signal." Lisa made her decision. "Hail them, standard diplomatic protocols." The Krellan captain appeared. On screen, his scales a dull bronze color, his eyes yellow and cold. He spoke in broken English, clearly annoyed by the interruption. "Human ship, you have no business here. This is Krellan territory. You will leave." "We received a distress signal," Lisa said, keeping her voice level. "We are obligated to investigate." The Krellan's lips pulled back, revealing rows of needle teeth. "There is no distress here, only cargo. Move along, or we will consider it an act of aggression." Lisa leaned forward. "I am offering to purchase one of your cargo." The female who sent the signal. "Name your price." The Krellan's eyes narrowed with interest. "Ah, you want the Xylarian? She is expensive. Very rare. Very beautiful, but also very troublesome. She has caused many problems. Perhaps I should just dispose of her." Lisa felt her jaw tighten. "How much?" The Krellan named a sum that made Amy gasp behind her. It was triple the ship's discretionary fund. But Lisa saw the calculation in his eyes. He expected her to refuse. He wanted her to leave so he could punish the girl for bringing humans to his door. Lisa authorized the transfer. 20 minutes later, the airlock cycled open and 2 Krellan guards shoved a small figure through. She collapsed on the deck and the airlock sealed behind her with a hiss of finality. Lisa rushed forward, dropping to her knees beside the alien woman. She was small, barely 5 feet tall, with skin that shimmered between blue and silver like moonlight on water. Her hair, if it could be called that, flowed around her head in weightless tendrils that moved as if underwater. Her eyes were large and dark, filled with fear and exhaustion. She wore rags and bore marks of abuse across her exposed arms. "You came," the alien whispered in that same melodic voice. "I did not think you would come. Humans are just stories we tell ourselves in the dark. Stories of a species that values freedom above profit. I thought it was just hope making us foolish." Lisa helped her sit up. "Carefully now. You are safe." "What is your name?" "Mira." The alien's voice trembled. "My name is Mira. I am Xylarian. We are few now. The Krellans hunted us. They said our abilities made us valuable. I have been their slave for 3 years. 3 years of pain and darkness." "What abilities?" Lisa asked, gently. Mira raised one delicate hand and the air around them began to shimmer. Colors bloomed in the space between them, shapes forming and dissolving like dreams made visible. She was showing Lisa memories, a beautiful world of crystal oceans and floating cities, Xylarians dancing through the air, their bodies glowing with inner light. Then the darkness came, ships descending fire and screaming, the few survivors dragged away in chains. "They want us because we can manipulate light and energy," Mira said as the visions faded. "We can create beauty or we can create weapons. The Krellans tried to force me to do terrible things to hurt others with my gifts. I refused. I always refused. That is why they kept me separate. I was being transported to someone who specializes in breaking difficult slaves." Lisa felt rage building in her chest. "That will never happen. You are free now. I promise you." Mira looked at her with those huge dark eyes. "Can you really promise that Captain Lisa Morgan, the Krellans have long memories. They will want me back. And there are worse things than the Krellans in this galaxy. Things that would pay fortunes for a Xylarian who can weaponize light." "Then we make sure they never find you," Lisa said firmly. "The Horizon is heading back to human space. You will have asylum protection, a new life, but the cost," Mira whispered. "I heard the price they demanded. You gave so much for a stranger." Why, Lisa smiled. "Because that is what humans do when we are at our best. We do not always live up to it, but we try. We believe every sentient being deserves freedom, the chance to choose their own path." Over the following weeks, Mira slowly healed. The ship's doctor, Betty Hall, treated her physical wounds while Lisa and the crew helped. With the emotional ones, Mira was fascinated by humans, by their diversity, their contradictions, their stubborn insistence on hope. Even in the darkest situations, she spent hours in the common area watching the crew play games, argue over meals, laugh at stupid jokes. She told Lisa one evening as they shared tea in the observation deck, "I have been property for so long, I forgot what it felt like to just exist, to have thoughts that belong only to me, to make choices, even small ones like what to eat or when to sleep. You humans, you take it for granted, but it is the most precious thing in the universe." Lisa watched Mira's face as she stared out at the stars. The young Xylarian was smiling, something she did more often now. "What will you do when we reach Earth?" Mira was quiet for a long moment. "I want to help others like you helped me. There must be more slaves out there in the dark, more people sending desperate signals hoping someone will care. I want to be the one who answers. I want to learn to be human, not in body but in spirit. To fight for freedom." Lisa felt pride swell in her chest. "Then you will. You have my word. We will train you, teach you everything you need to know. And when you are ready, you will join us. Not as cargo or property, but as crew. As family." Mira turned to her, tears glistening in those alien eyes. "I thought I would die in chains, Captain. I thought the universe was only cruelty and pain. But you proved me wrong. You humans, you are strange, loud, messy, contradictory. But you are also kind. You see suffering and you cannot look away. Thank you for hearing my plea. Thank you for saving me." Lisa reached out and gently squeezed Mira's hand. "You saved yourself, Mira. You were the one brave enough to call out into the void. You fought to stay alive, to keep hope when everything said you should give up. We just answered the call as the Horizon continued its journey home. Lisa filed her report. She knew there would be consequences. Unauthorized expenditure, breach of protocol, potential diplomatic incident with the Krellans. But as she watched Mira laughing with Amy in the corridor, teaching the lieutenant how to make light dance in patterns, she knew she would make the same choice again, because that was what it meant to be human, to see someone in chains and break them, to hear a desperate plea and answer, to choose compassion, even when it cost everything. The galaxy was vast and full of darkness, but as long as humans sailed through it, there would always be light. There would always be someone willing to answer when a voice cried out from the void, and for Mira that made all the difference. She was free, and she would never be a slave again.